Welcome to the Transmission Coaching Podcast, powered by ATRA. Today's podcast is sponsored by Gears Magazine, your magazine for the automatic transmission rebuilding industry. Be sure to get into Gears. Get your free subscription at gearsmagazine.com. Click on subscribe. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the Coaching Podcast. And now here's your host, Coach Lance Wiggins.
Welcome to the Transmission Coaching Podcast. My name is Lance Wiggins. Thank you for being here. We are live at the 2018 Expo. With me, of course, as always, is my lovely co-host, Vanessa Velasquez.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? With us today is Scott Schotten and Eric Ziegler from the Drivability guys. Let's see. We'll talk to Eric first because he's had already one other podcast this week. How's the show going for you so far?
Show's going great.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Eric Ziegler. I hail from Peoria, Illinois, transitioning to Jacksonville, Florida here when my wife retires. I own and operate a mobile diagnostics business. We service about 350 shops across 11 counties, and Scott asked me 7 years ago to do some training with him, and I also train with the drivability guys in automotive seminars. So I go different places, like find venues such as your own, and do technician training.
What's the difference between transmission guys and drivability guys, or engine guys, if you will?
General repair shops and trans shops?
Yeah.
I think that line is getting more and more blurred every day as trans shops have. I was actually talking to Jerry from Mid-State Trans about this and talking with Keith about it last night, that it used to be trans shops did trans work and did hydraulic circuits and things like that, and had really no interest in doing that GM leaking intake gasket. And at the same time, repair shops had no idea what they were doing trans-wise, so they sent all their trans work to transmission shops. And then Crate Transmissions came along, and the repair side said, hey, we can pull a trans in and out, and they kind of left their transmission cohorts in the dust. And so most transmission shops are now doing general repair shop just as a matter of another revenue stream. So
kind of the one-stop shop, right?
Absolutely. And like you think of days of, I'm not a trans guy, but like the old two-speed power glide was a hydraulic circuit. You had to know like when things applied, sprags, one-way clutches and things like that. Now everything is computer command controlled, whether the pulse width modulated solenoids or using PM generators or Hall effect sensors. So there's a lot of overlap that's coming, and that's why we love coming here to your excellent venue, and you have such a hungry attendance. The people that come, they want to know about what we do, and they've always been so receptive to us. So we love coming back every year.
Vanessa, did you catch all this stuff about Hall effect sensors?
Yeah,
I know you're way interested in that, right?
I'm absorbing it all right now.
Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, all that good stuff.
I'm from about an hour west of Chicago in DeKalb, Illinois, and I operate a mobile diagnostic business part-time. I teach at a community college and run the drivability guys, travel around the country in Canada to do teaching seminars of a bunch of different sorts.
Nice. And what is your thought on the difference between transmission shops and
Well, I brought my PR guy with me. I think he already answered all the questions, see? No, I would agree, though, that it's changed a lot, especially with the electronics and computer control stuff, and it's just changed. The same way engine stuff did a handful of years ago when we started having OBD and having fuel injection and all these things. It's a little later to the game in the transmission world, but that same thing is coming again. So my assumption is, not being at a trans shop, you guys are using a lot more scan tools and electrical test equipment than you used to in the past. It also helps us with our training, too, because neither of us are really, at heart, transmission guys.
Right.
Nothing against a transmission guy, but there's that crossover now. So some of the information that we've gained being drivability technicians for years applies now to the transmission world. So it lets us come and do things like this.
Too. You have to program transmission
Programming
stuff.
modules,
correct.
correct.
There's PCM updates for the 6-speed Honda that we learned about this morning.
I think what's awesome is that, in the engine world, when we had like fuel injectors and pulse width modulated injectors, that when you look at that on a scope, it's almost identical now to a solenoid.
Yep.
Like you can see the duty cycles, so you can relate the two together.
It's the same base component.
Yep.
It's
It's a solid coil
an
wire.
electromechanical device with a coil of wire, and it moves a pintle. It's either spraying fuel or it's letting trans fluid pass.
They're totally different, Scott, when it comes to a transmission and an engine, right? That was the thought process for a long time, right? Wasn't it? I mean, somebody said fuel injector, well, okay, I'm not touching that, right? And these are transmission guys that are now seeing, I think, the difference between the two, but also the commonality, like you were talking about.
For us, it was
earlier.
exactly the opposite. When we were going like this to the trans world, going, that's not a fuel injector, that's a trans cylinder. But you have an open mind and apply it, and it's the same basic electrical concept, just in a different application. You can do it.
And they share a lot of the same sensors. Like even if you look at something like what my class is about this afternoon, mass airflow is a primary input for the PCM as far as volumetric efficiency and
engine load,
making the load and everything else. And it's also in the GM world too. I mean, if you get a bad MAF, you can smoke a transmission
all day,
all
That's
day
right.
long. So I mean, there are sensors that are used in both ends of the spectrum automotively. And like I said, I think you're getting a lot more really up to the plate smart trans shops that are really doing a good job at doing drivability diagnostics as well.
Agreed. So Scott, this morning, tell us a little bit about your show you did this morning, and I want to just mention that everybody that was registered as an attendee gets the audio of your presentation along with the book that we produce as well. So just in case some things went over or under the head, right? They always get to go back there and review it again. So tell us a little bit about your show.
Well, I hope I didn't swear then. If it was recorded, I don't think I did. You can edit it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. This morning was about oxygen sensors and fuel trims. The magazine articles I write for Gear are in front of the flywheel, and we started the class saying, a transmission doesn't work right if the engine doesn't work right first. So we did some sensors today. Oxygen sensors, fuel trims. Eric's going to finish up with some mass airflows and stuff a little bit later this afternoon. And I think it went pretty well.
And Eric, you're getting ready to go on here shortly.
Couple of hours.
Tell us a little bit about your presentation you're doing that.
My presentation this year is going to be on, fuel trims, kind of continue on with what Scott kind of introduced this morning, and then we're also going to cover some mass airflow diagnostics or whatever, so techs can be able to use both those variable PIDs on the scan tool to get diagnostic direction to make sure that the mass airflow sensor is working, which is crucial on the trans side as well as the drivability side. So like when Scott's articles are in front of the flywheel, there's a lot of warranty labor involved. If you pull a transmission 2 or 3 times and your rebuilder takes it apart and goes, nope, it's all together, nothing's backwards, and you end up with a bad sensor on the front side of the flywheel. So we're going to talk about using some scan data PIDs, primarily fuel trims and mass airflow, to diagnose modern drivability problems.
Question for you both. With regards to your scan tools, I noticed like today, during your class, you had a lot of graphing meter type stuff. I know you're wearing a picoscope shirt, so the scopes today in your world pretty big, right?
It's mission critical.
Yeah. So for us, our guys are having trouble understanding that. But I think having you guys here doing that has worked out really well.
Awesome. Yeah. We were actually talking to Keith right before that wonderful TransStar event last night that was, off the chart as far as the dinner goes. We ran into Keith, and he was talking, asking some questions about Pico, and maybe that might be another thing for a later date as well.
So another attendee came up and said, is there any way we could have a beginner and advanced Pico class next year? I said, yes. Absolutely. I think I know a couple of guys that do that. So
who love coming out to your show.
I'll have to wear my Pico shirt then too, I guess.
Do you have anything for our guests? Other than some pretzels?
Yeah, I've got some snacks.
Yeah, she's got all the snacks on that side, Eric. I'm sorry, man. I don't have anything for you. So.
I haven't missed any meals. So.
Good. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you next year.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, and we love being a part of your show.
Thanks, Eric.
Once again, if you are a conference attendee at the show, you get their audio version of their class. That'll be emailed to you after you get back to the shop.
Weeks.
Got a couple of announcements here. Guess what? ATRA won, or received the 2018 Gears Tournament Event Sponsor Award. There you go. For the 2018 Gear in appreciation for your generosity and support to the ATRA Golf Classic. Joseph DeSantino presented this from JDS Worldwide Corp.
So who's going to get to keep that in their office?
That'll probably be Roger. That would be my guess. Yeah, that would be my guess. A couple of other announcements from the ATRA Golf Classic. I'll let you do that one.
What are we doing here?
There we go. First place was Joel Shingal and Jay Shingal and Manish Batra and Kevin Blumenthal. They won $500 cash paid. Second place was Dennis Hansen, Corey Hunt, Lori Hunt, and Angie Fredrickson. In third place was John Salazzo, Frank Miller, Tracy Hicks, and Tracy Carvala. They got $300 paid cash and donated it back to the Precision Ronald McDonald House. That is fantastic,
nice.
guys. Thank you so much for doing that. Fourth place was Tim Ellie, Bill Fontaz, Tom Hardees, and Chad Lester. They also won $200 cash and donated to Borg Warner Ronald McDonald House. So thank you guys for doing that. That's outstanding. Closest to the pin was Tracy Hicks, $200 cash prize, also donated back to the Ronald McDonald Foundation, which is awesome. And the longest drive, see, name's not on here for longest drive.
Yeah, there wasn't anything.
That was also donated back to Ronald McDonald. So all of those guys that did that, that is such a huge deal for the needy there at the Ronald McDonald House. So thank you so much for doing so.
No, these are not winners.
No, those are the
sponsors.
The sponsors.
Okay, so corporate sponsors for the Expo Golf Classic: Precision International, Gears Magazine, Borg Warner, and Seal Aftermarket Products. So it looks like they also had T-Box sponsors: Wolfpack Enterprises, Transtech, and Superior Transmission Parts. So there were no winners for the hole-in-one last year.
Yeah, I think last year somebody won a hole-in-one. Was like $10,000.
I think it might have been more than that. But yeah, they didn't have that this year. No winners.
Oh, there's $30,000 hole-in-one, no winner, and the $10,000 60-foot putt attempted by Manish Batra.
Nice.
He got a consolidated prize of, I think, he got a 60-degree wedge for that. So that was fantastic. So, Vanessa, we are day. Well, let me count it down. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday. We're day 4.
We are day 4.
We're day 4 in the it's Saturday. It's football season.
Yay.
Good. Get your Don't forget to stop by the Rasta booth to pick up your little flying football here.
That thing's
good.
cool.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Day 4.
Yeah, we're day 4.
So let's break it down. What have we done?
Let's do that. So Wednesday.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, Wednesday was our opening.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Wednesday. Let's
start
picture
earlier than
this.
that.
Wednesday, we had all of our crates arriving. We were unpacking everything, setting up registration.
Hi, Barbara.
And we had
How are you?
seminars kicking off at 4 o'clock, both management and technical. So ATRA staff, they did a great job of trying to get that registration set up so that we can start handing out materials starting at 3 o'clock.
That was rough because everybody shows up early.
We had
they
a lot
want to
more
get their
people.
stuff in there.
We had a lot more people than I was expecting, which was great. That's what we wanted. We know people are starting to come in on Wednesday. We wanted to be able to give them something to do, and I think those kickoffs went really well. So about how many people do you think were in those rooms?
I think we probably had about 125, 130 people in the rooms on Wednesday, somewhere in that area.
In the tech.
And about 50, 60 in the management. Yeah.
So that was pretty good for a Wednesday, considering that that's the earliest that we've started the event.
And just for future reference, on all of our early starts, our kickoff shows, when we have 2 shows like that in the afternoon on our first day, they're always free. You don't have to go get your book or go to registration and grab your information. We know that registration's opening late because it's day 1 of registration as well.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't required.
Yeah, just for future reference, you don't have to, you don't have to get your book and stuff. So, so then we kick off Thursday bright and early at 8 a.m. and it is a full
day. So about 12 hours of seminars
for tech
on Thursday
for
tech. Yeah.
Because I don't think
jam packed. How many sessions were there?
We
on
had.
Thursday?
Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 sessions on Thursday. Started at 8 a.m.,
Back to
ended
back
at
to
7
back to
p.m. Back to back. Had about a half hour or 15-minute break to get some coffee. By the way, outstanding job on having the coffee out there in a
Well,
a
I'm
ton of
glad
areas.
I'm
So
glad you said
thank
that because I all week I was trying my best to, no one wants to pay for something that we don't use. So it's one of those balancing acts where we want people to be happy. We want people to, get their coffee. We know you're all big coffee drinkers, but at the same time, may not know, once it's served, whether we use it or not, the association has to pay for it. So anyway, I'm glad that it seemed to be okay. So
Well,
far.
we were able to pull coffee from other locations, so I think we were
Am I
okay
gonna hear
with
about
that.
later?
No,
Okay.
you'll be fine. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
All right, good.
So
that was Thursday.
Friday's basically our kickoff day. I mean, that's when
Well,
that's when all the magic
you have
happens,
you have
right?
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Friday is my most stressful day. I'm going to talk about myself right now.
Go for it.
So, so we've got, of course, we open with registration 7 a.m. and then we've got seminars. They started at 8, and they go for several hours, 3 hours. I've got to meet the entertainment for sound check. So I was in the luncheon room starting at about 8:30 that morning. Johnny Counterfeit showed up. Nicest guy ever, by the way.
Really?
He was really, really nice. Great to work with. I hope everyone enjoyed him. He was happy to be there. So that was at the luncheon, of course, at 12 o'clock. And then we had our big BTS announcement. We were all really waiting for that video. We hope everyone enjoyed it. We've heard some really good things so far. And then we did demos here at the booth afterwards. So
That's when the show floor opens.
yes, 2 o'clock.
For the first time.
Yes, right after the luncheon. And so that was great. It was
And then
great.
we
It was
had
busy,
and then after that, we celebrate with having the TransStar reception.
which was really fun. They did a couple different things. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I did. They had a lot of seating. Everyone was very comfortable. There was pasta stations. There were seafood stations. I mean, they had crab legs, big old crab legs, big old shrimp. I know I'm going on and on about the food, but that's what you do at the receptions. And it was fun. A Rat Pack band. It ended at 9, but I was still sitting there at 9:30. They had to turn on the lights and kick us out. So it was fun. So thank you, TransStar.
You guys got booted from your own reception?
It's not my reception, but they turned the lights on. They didn't say to leave, but we got the hint. So-
I normally get the double click.
The double click.
Last call.
Yeah, it was. So I see that you took my snack, so I'll let you. I'll be nice and I'll share.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So that brings us up to Saturday, which we had our 2 shows this morning, and then the trade show floor opens again this afternoon. Saturday is usually our kind of our commonality of walkthrough days in here. There's a lot of traffic. Seems like the suppliers are getting some guys that are standing by their booths. And have you heard any good, bad, or indifferent from them?
Yes, actually, they've come up to me and said, "Hey, what did you think about yesterday? Was it just us, or was it really busy?" There were good. I said, "No, if we felt the exact same way. It was a good vibe. It was not only busy, but the people that were in here, you could just tell they were ready. They were ready to do business. They were eager. They were happy to be here. You could just feel it. Anyway, it was a good feeling on the show floor yesterday, and it seems like it's going to be about the same today as well. So yeah, we have happy exhibitors. Speaking of exhibitors, what we also do on Saturday morning, attendees probably don't know this, is every Saturday morning of our show, our exhibitors get together. Exhibitors get together for a meeting and booth drawing, and what that is they choose their booths for next expo. So may not realize, but our show floor for next year is almost practically full by this point.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it was great.
Outstanding.
Looks like we have a guest.
Yes,
we grabbed
we do.
someone from the aisle.
Hi, Kit.
Hello,
Lindsay.
friends.
Kit
Good to see
Lindsay.
you.
Hey, Kit, thanks.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hey.
Kit's been coming to the expos
Oh, yes.
for how long
He's
now?
a staple.
I don't know. Since Jesus had a puppy, I think. Probably since 90. When was the first one? 92 or
Scoot
3 or
that
So you're
something
going to
like
make
that?
us remember that?
There you
Oh,
go.
my goodness.
This
I think
very
it's 92.
early 90s.
92
Good.
sounds good.
Yeah.
So, what has changed since the very early '90s to now? A little bit of everything, I'm sure.
Everything's changed.
But what do you think about the as far as the programs?
Well, every year the programs I find are definitely spot on to what we're trying to do in the industry to try to fix the cars better and provide better service for our customers. But what I'm really excited about this year is your guys' new training program that you've talked about.
Yeah, VTS, man.
Yep. And
yeah.
I should point out that there's Kate right there, the other person, the girl I told you about this morning, one of the few girls in our industry.
Okay.
And I mentioned to her that you'd like to talk to her, and of course my young apprentice Cody. We're really excited about that program, and we think it's going to make a big difference.
Speaking of apprentice programs, how old is the guy that you've got you are training for
Cody.
your replacement?
He's 20 years old right now.
Cody.
Yep, Cody's wonderful. He came to me and started sweeping the floor and wanted to be a welder for a living.
Oh, yeah.
And after being in the shop for a couple years, he's decided that this is probably a better way to make a living, and so now we are working on a succession plan, and the next few years I'm going to hopefully turn it over to him. And one of the reasons he's at Expo is because this is the finest place for him to get the business training that he needs.
Well, we're
so
so
that he can
happy
be
that he's
successful
here.
when I turn it over to him.
When I heard you talking in the member meeting about this is my successor, you were adamant about that. You were passionate about that, and I can see that in Cody's eyes, the investment you were making into him. You're putting the investment in him. You could see that confidence in his eyes, and I thought to myself, well, there's a young guy here. I had no idea he was 20.
Yeah, he's only 20.
I mean, he is very mature for his age, and he seems like he knows what he wants.
He is, and I tell you, I can trust him. It's absolutely wonderful. And I'll say this, it's been well over 15 years since anyone like that walked into my life, and I'm blessed to have him.
Okay.
Amy and I are both very blessed to have him.
Aw.
That's outstanding.
Yep.
That's
You can tell that he
outstanding.
looks up to you.
Yep.
And
Yeah, and I think that
That's
I mean,
great.
I think he's fortunate to have you as well.
Yes.
I mean, you're,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you every time that I've spoken with you in the previous expos, you're always upbeat, always got something going on, always moving and shaking, and I
Yep.
think that's the way our our industry needs to. When it's like that, it's vibrant.
It
It
is.
feels good when we're going through it, and that's one of the things that we try to produce with our VTS, but also just bring this kind of a program like Expo together. And
Well, I've made some of the finest friends that I've had in my life through ATRA at Expo, and I just want to take an opportunity to say hello to Rod Psycho.
There we go.
Because he's up in
yeah.
Idaho,
Hi,
couldn't
Rod.
make it this year.
Hey, Rod.
Dan Tucker down in Arkansas couldn't make it this year. And Rick Walker, someone who was a very successful transmission shop owner in Denver and had a successful succession plan and is now enjoying retirement
Well, good
just
for
like
him.
I would like to enjoy my
Good for
retirement.
him.
Oh, I love that.
That's right. And so we want to be sure and say hi to Rick because I was visiting with all these people today and yesterday via text.
That's great.
And I just want to say hi to those guys, and we miss you. And probably one of the more important things that I could tell any young person or somebody that's never been to this before is if you come to this thing, you'll meet some of the finest people in the industry, and you'll have some lifelong friends that are lifelong friends.
Always count on them. Yeah.
Yep.
I believe that. Thanks, Kit.
Thanks, buddy.
for stopping
Thanks
by.
so
All right.
much for
Good to see
stopping
you
by,
guys.
Kit.
Bye, Amy. See ya.
Thank you.
Kit Lindsay, ladies and gentlemen. Man,
Oh, that was
guy's
great.
that guy's good.
It's always so good to see him.
Good. Yeah, let's get back to this. So Saturday, when
Oh,
we
so I had finished up was just saying about the booth drawing, letting attendees know that they might not realize that the previous year we lock up and we get that show floor loaded for the next year. So we've already.
I'm going to pull in another guest here if that's okay with you. I know.
I've got some fans.
I know, right?
I hate you people.
Caitlin.
Yes.
Okay, Kit Lindsay just told me about you. My name is Lance Wiggins.
Good
Nice
to meet
you.
you.
Hi,
Welcome to the
Vanessa.
Transmission
Hi. Nice to
Coaching
meet you.
Podcast. So, Kit's already talked a little bit about you, but I'd like you to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do.
My name's Caitlin Crum. I'm an R&R tech right now. Do some building, motors, when you name it, I've done it probably.
Nice.
Been working on cars for about 10, 12 years now.
No kidding. How'd you get into that?
I got a friend who got me a job as a service writer, and they were shorthanded one day and needed somebody to do oil changes, and I just never left the back.
Caitlin, what are you doing? I'm writing people up. Get over here. Start changing oil. That's how that went, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, can I just stay back here?
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
You love it.
I love it. I do.
So you're doing R&R now. You're doing some rebuilding.
Yeah.
What's the last transmission you rebuilt?
Fully CFT 30,
Wow. Way to start off with the easy stuff.
right? It took a while. It's not like it took a while.
And are you guys with? Are you guys with her?
Yes, that's my builder.
Oh, awesome. Come on over. Have a seat. Come on. It's okay. While Bill's doing some announcements, we can sit down and chat for a little bit. Would you like any snacks?
No, I'm
Okay.
just had In-N-Out burger for the first time, so that's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
Matt Rockwell from
Chris?
Automatic
Chris, nice to
Kings
Vanessa, nice to
Transmission
meet you.
Parts.
Thanks for stopping by.
Matt Rockwell.
We'll wait until
over
homeboy-
to Sussex
Right?
He's
Auto
nice and
Part
loud.
booth number 803. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Good. So, Caitlin, what's the company you work for?
PD
where-
Marietta.
And where's
in
that at?
Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta, Georgia. Good. And with us also now is,
Chris Porth.
okay. And what do you do there, Chris?
I'm in the builder and everything else that needs to get done that she doesn't
Right.
take care of. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is she kind of an apprentice as well, or?
No,
She's already.
Yeah, she's past the
running.
apprentice
You're
stage.
running.
Oh, I love it. This is
She
awesome.
does a lot of my diagnosis and checks out all the cars and helps me out when we got an engine problem or something like that with her information.
Is this Junior?
Yeah, that's Junior.
And what is? Come on over, Junior. Come on over here. What does he do?
He works for Faraday Future,
What's that?
the electric car company that's coming out.
No kidding.
Yeah, he does the high voltage stuff.
was his R&R guy, and then I got out of that.
That's outstanding. Wow. So, and you guys out of Georgia, right?
And he's in California.
Of course you are. That's where all the electric cars are
Yeah.
built.
Right?
Us tree
I haven't
huggers.
seen so many
Us
Teslas
tree
in
huggers
my
over
entire
there.
life until I came here.
Right. You want Chris? Yeah, come on over to this side, Chris. So you're a service rider. You get into building. Now you're building, and where do you see yourself? A couple years from now. I mean, you're
He's gonna need to
obviously.
Taking his job.
I like
Yeah.
that. That's the way. That's the way you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Good, man. This is outstanding stuff. So, how long you been in the business?
Since 1980. So I've been building since about 83.
Okay.
And Bill Brayton was the person who taught me how to build.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, we worked together at Fountain Valley Transmissions
Okay.
way back in the day.
And so you moved. And where's your shop located at now?
Marietta, Georgia.
So what took you from California to Georgia?
My brother moved to Georgia. We just went and visited and just liked the area. And
Oh wow.
being in transmission work, you can work anywhere you want to if you're good.
Ain't
So,
that the
Yeah.
truth?
Yeah, if you're good enough, you can just go about just about anywhere.
A little different
Yeah.
though. It's funny. We talk to shops, obviously all over the world, but shops that are in the Northeast and what they deal with their wiring corrosions and their rust. And all that
I would
stuff.
have to
In
find
co-
a different job.
Yeah, in comparison
yeah.
to us here in California, it's night and day different.
Yeah.
No, at my old shop, we had a car lot that we did wholesale jobs for, and they would buy cars from up north
Yeah.
and then fix them. And I hated my life
Yeah.
at that
Dude,
point in time.
How come everything is broken and why does it keep breaking?
Why is the car completely rusted through?
So the company, do you ever see yourself maybe buying a transmission shop and running it?
You can see that, although I really like working on cars, so I would probably be that boss that's always coming back.
Just
and
in
like,
the
Let
back.
me just do that for you.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard.
You went to some of the training this weekend?
Yeah, I went to all of it. Yeah, all of it.
Did you see John Parmenter? John
Yes.
Parmenter?
Which one did you do?
He's the guy from New York.
Tips and tricks.
Oh, yeah.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, okay.
yesterday
So
morning.
so John is a huge supporter of ATRA, good friend of ours, and he's that guy. He owns the shop, but he doesn't do anything on the front end. Everything he does is in the back end. He knows that his part of his business and what makes him great is building transmissions. It's not. Hi, Mr. Customer, how you doing? That's not John, right? He says I'm the back end guy. I love what I'm doing.
When he first started talking, you're right. I couldn't figure out whether he would own the shop or just worked in the shop. It took a while
Oh,
for
that's
me to
funny.
figure
Right.
it out.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's both.
And he always has his yellow piece of paper with his glasses that are like this.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
looking up, doing
That's
this thing,
John.
so.
So I'm curious. Is this your first expo? Have you been before?
No, this is my first one.
It's your first one.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm desperately
give
want
us
to
your
know
thoughts.
what you're thinking.
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
SEMA. And you look down for 2 seconds, you've already missed like 5 booths.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just so much. I think we walked 6 miles?
Yeah, we walked 6 miles.
Easy.
Yeah.
This is the weekend that if you guys are doing the step things, you challenge your friends.
No,
Right?
yeah.
You make bets
you're
on
gonna,
it
yeah,
because we're in Vegas.
you're gonna win. That's just how there is to it. So as a conference attendee, just a quick reminder is that you'll also get the audio portion of every show that you went to. So you can go back and regurgitate it a little bit later because we know that it's sensory overload. We know that 11 hours worth of training on a consecutive day, and then you come back for another 4 hours, and then back for another 4 hours, and then back again. Your mind starts getting a little wandery. So you'll get an email in a couple weeks. It'll have the links to those, and you'll be able to kind of relive the process all over again.
That's awesome because that first day we hadn't slept for 24 hours because our flight was 6 a.m. in Georgia, and you guys are 3 hours behind us.
Wow.
So yeah, it was about 24 hours of just not
Being up.
no stop.
Oh, wow.
Oh man,
We didn't even check in till 7. We just went straight to SEMA.
Oh, gosh.
brutal.
And then we went to the show, or the
Yeah, then we
The
went to the
seminar that
seminar,
night.
and then we
So-
checked in.
That's dedication for you.
That is
We
dedication.
like that. You got anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that's
Okay, guys. Well,
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
so
coming
much.
up.
Thank you.
Very nice meeting you.
It's good to meet
luck.
you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you're ever in the Oxnard area, there's that. There you go. If you're ever in the Oxnard area, stop by.
Enjoy the rest of it.
Stop by, say hello. Anytime, guys. Thank you. Thank you. That was cool.
I love especially talking to people who it's like their first time. We do have a lot of our attendees are just lifelong attendees, which is great, which is awesome because they're extremely valuable. But it's also exciting to, whenever we get, new people.
Those rookies, what's cool about that is you could see in her face the excitement that she had of, the process that goes through to be here. That process was just huge. And, her eyes were brightened up and her facial expressions are changing. That's what we want to attain, and our kind of our goal, I think, at the end of the day, is to have that wow to now.
Well, it keeps us going. It pushes us.
Yeah, to have the wow to now,
we need to have the wow factor every year. There's going to be people that this is their first time. We need to wow them.
Every year?
Yes, every year we're going to wow them. And next year it'll be better.
That's right.
Yeah. Cool, that's good stuff. So did we finish breaking down?
No, we
got
didn't
this
break
Saturday.
down.
You keep grabbing people walking
I needed
by?
you. I'm sorry, they're walking by.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
just missed your social butterfly over here.
Eyeballing. So tell us.
Okay.
I want to hear about the show floor for 2019.
Yeah, so 2019 we're going to be at Caesar's Palace.
Ooh, I love Caesars.
First time, really exciting. Everyone knows Caesar's Palace. So we this morning had a booth drawing where the whole floor plan is laid out, just like the booths that you see like in the pocket guide. And the exhibitors show up and they choose their booths. Now it's done in a certain order. It's not just, a free-for-all. The way we do it is it's based off of the number of booths that they've purchased in the past. So we keep a running tally, and then that's the order that we go by with them choosing. So as you can imagine, we've got the companies that have the big booths, have several booths every year. They go first, and then so on and so forth. So we do that every year, as long as I can remember. And we darn near sell out this weekend for next year's show, and that's kind of where we're at. That happens almost every year, so that is obviously a great sign. And yeah, so we had that this morning. And then here we are with
So how
another
many
show floor.
booths? How many empties do we have left?
Oh gosh.
Just like 5 or 6? What?
So what happens is you've got people that can't make it to the booth drawing. So they go and talk to Diane in the exhibitor lounge after, and then they grab what's left. So at this point, I don't know, maybe a dozen, maybe 20.
Wow.
But considering
pretty
you
good.
have 200, more than 200 booths, that's pretty darn good. Yeah.
And we'll be at Caesars, which is
Caesars
a
Palace.
totally different venue, even though it's still Las Vegas. I know you're sad because it's Vegas again, but it's going to be okay.
I'm not sad.
And then, just talking in the future, we have Nashville in 2020, correct?
We do. So
Gaylord.
some of you may recall that we had a vote last year. It was between 4 cities. Nashville won, And so we will be at the Gaylord Opryland, which we've been there before. 2002 was the last time that we were in Nashville. And
we
the
love that
Gaylord,
place.
oh my
Love
goodness.
that place. They have catwalks, they have sanctuaries.
Atriums.
Atriums is what
It's
they are.
huge. Like, you don't need to
Atriums.
go anywhere else.
They have
it's
inside there.
gorgeous.
They have a river that's inside there.
It's gorgeous.
That has 6-foot catfish floating through them.
Oh,
It's nuts.
It is such a neat property. So I'm
They
excited.
have catwalks that go over the top of the atrium.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's really, really neat
It's
place.
a little moist in there though because of that, I think.
Moist.
Like.
Did you just say moist?
Moist.
Yeah, it's humid.
Humid.
Maybe
That's the
is
word.
that what the word
That's
you were
the word I
looking
was
for? All right. So yeah, we can edit that out.
No, keep that in. It's awesome.
Anyway, yes, when we were there in 2002, and I think that was one of my first years even attending. Anyway, everyone had a great time.
Oh, that's right. You got the nickname Nashville Nessie.
Okay, we can edit that, right?
Oh, that's good stuff.
Our tech guy is shaking his head. Okay.
Nope.
Yes,
gotta
my name
keep
is
it.
Nashville Nessie.
That's right.
For good reasons.
She likes
None of
Nashville.
which were embarrassing or unprofessional.
Of course not. Are we going to do the riverboat
Yeah, that was
thing
a long
again?
time ago. I'm old now. Huh?
Are we going to do the riverboat thing
I
again?
don't know yet. We'll do something fun for the weekend to get everyone together, with their spouses. We usually do that when we're in a non-Vegas city. Last time we were in a non-Vegas city was DC, and we did the night tours to all the monuments.
That's
so
right.
neat. Everyone loved that.
It was rainy that night too.
Yes, it was,
Yeah.
which it worked out. I mean, we're on buses, and you were able to get out, and it was fine, and we did. I think all my photos I was, with an umbrella, but it was still beautiful, just beautiful. It's pitch dark, and then just the monuments were lit up. It was gorgeous. So, yeah. Oh, and then in 2010 in San Antonio, we did the
bull thing,
the Dude Ranch type
Dude
of
Ranch.
thing. Yeah, that was
was
fun.
cool.
That was fun.
That was cool.
So that's what we try to do, to kind of embrace whatever city that we're going to be in. In Las Vegas, it's a little more difficult because, I mean, my gosh, speaking of sensory overload, there's so many things that people are doing, but at least when we're in a non-Vegas city, we try to find something that kind of highlights the area and gets people a chance to still be together, but go and explore. So anyway, I don't know what we're going to do in Nashville, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Their downtown city, their downtown area has been revitalized since the last time we were there, as a lot of downtowns are doing now. So very walkable, very, just very, very cool place to walk around. And they've got so many, shops and restaurants, bars, all kinds of fun things. So I'm excited.
Also home of Stacy Machart and a blues you can use. Plug #Stacy Machart.
That's right.
At StacyMachart.com.
I forgot about that.
Stacy, I know you're watching. You're going to watch this, and you're going to say, "I remember calling that guy and wishing him a happy birthday." I remember that, so that'll be good times.
Yeah, so that's 2020. Yeah, I'm excited about that. We're actually booked until 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dennis commented on that. As far as how that operates and works. Going that far out. 2022 is four years from now.
It was booked last year, so it was 5 years out. You want me to get into that? You want me to?
No, just what's the curriculum? Like, why do we have to book so far out?
Okay, so as we are generally around the same time, end of October, right around SEMA. But you may notice that the dates will fluctuate from one week to the other, and that's not done on purpose. We run into situations where there's.
Sorry. We have a thing from our sponsor, NatPro. Stop by the NatPro booth. Get your free ball that you can throw at people. NatPro. Okay, go ahead, Ness.
And then, so we run into situations where venues have not. It's competitive. It's tough to get dates. 2 years out used to be perfectly fine for us to get dates. Our show being mainly on the weekend, some of these Las Vegas hotels don't need the weekend travelers, and filling in these hotels with meetings on a weekend is not the easiest thing to do.
Was it easier for us to get the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday venue over as opposed to Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Sunday?
When you speak to a hotel and you're able to give them days during the week as opposed to on the weekend, they are so much more flexible. not just with availability, but with pricing. So, that could be the difference of a $250 room night to a $150 room night. So a lot of things, yeah.
My co-host is really getting upset at me right now. I don't know if you can see the eyeballs. Like, she's like, God.
A lot of eyeballs. There's going to be like 3 hours of eyeballs here.
Well, it's a live broadcast. And those are the kind of things that have to happen. We have to see that interaction.
Great. Well, then I'm here. Okay,
look at this.
Hey, Walt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Walt Swanson. Hey, Walt.
Hey, Lance.
Good afternoon.
Vanessa.
Hey, Walt.
So for those that don't know who Walt is, Walt, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your shop name, all that good stuff.
Well, thanks, Lance. Vanessa. I'm Walt Swanson from Vancouver, Canada. I've been in the ATRA, I think, for probably, eons. It seems like maybe 25 years, something like that. And I'm currently involved with the Western Canada chapter, and of course, I love coming to Expo.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what the Western Canadian chapter does, a little bit about, what it means to be a chapter and have a chapter.
Thanks, Lance. The Western Canada chapter, we service, obviously, Western Canada. We also service even Washington State a bit and Alaska. We've been very involved with hosting the seminars for our region, of course, and it is always great to see so many guys coming from such great distances, be it across the Rockies, like I say, and from the north. It's an enthusiastic group. We're like every demographic, though. We've had a little bit of a reduction in our membership overall, as a transmission industry has evolved to be more confined, you might say, but you know what? We still have a strong membership, and we're very well supported up there.
Outstanding. So you guys have what is your seminars that we have up there?
Sorry,
what date? What month?
Well, we're typically the end of May. I think we're at the beginning of June now is when we hosted this last one. I think it was
Vancouver.
June 1st, I think it was. And it was well attended. We had, I think it was 90 techs show up.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. What do you think about the show? How's it going?
I love it. This is, every year there's always something that just seems to add to the flavor of our industry.
Keeps you going.
And of course, your program that you've just are launching
VTS,
right now. My God! I tell you, I call it tranny porn.
Whoa,
that's what I call it.
Whoa!
It's in
Vegas.
A family program.
It's in Vegas.
That's true, and we are live. So everything goes. That's right. Part of that, that VTS program was to reach out to shops and employees and technicians that can't, for whatever reason, can't get out and go to Vegas, as an example.
Yes.
Or there's so much land to cover, like what we were talking about earlier with Canada.
Yeah, it's going to add a lot. There's so many guys that are either a smaller shop and they just can't seem to get to this destination, for instance, or even Vancouver. And this is going to help them bridge that gap. They're going to be able to go online and just get in it and immerse themselves in it. I think I mentioned to you earlier, I've got a newer tech here, and he is so excited about this. It's exactly what he's been looking for. He's already got his 4th year in general, and now he's going to just dive right in with this. It's just going to be a great tool.
Great.
He's going to be one of those guys that gets on the program and 30 hours later his eyes are going to be swollen wide open, and it's all dry. He's all, this is awesome.
Yeah, it won't be.
Trying to get as much info as possible.
Yeah.
So out of your weekend so far, we talked a little bit about the VTS, but the networking with your coworkers or colleagues.
Yeah.
That's huge, isn't it?
I walk around, and I'm not trying to get a swelled head here, but I walk around, and there are some people that come up to me, and they're shouting out my name. Some of them I haven't met before.
Aww,
and
cool. But they know you.
And it's great. It really, really does help develop relationships, and it, guys. We've been around. I'm actually hugging people instead of shaking hands. Yeah. I'm serious on that. It is like that. We walk around. I see guys like Roger around and stuff like that. I wish I was golfing with them this weekend, but I wasn't. It really is more like a family. It really is, and I can't get enough of it.
great.
That's what Kit was saying. Kit Lindsay we had up
Yeah,
earlier
Kit, yeah.
said the exact same thing. He says, you come here, you meet somebody for the first time, 5 years later, you see them consecutively, and then you actually start showing up because of them.
Yes.
Exactly
And,
right.
the
Yeah.
Rafi Polivians, the Joe, the Joe Riveras,
Yeah.
These guys I didn't know,
Yeah.
but I had my hair cut real short and I had my beard, and this guy walks in and he's got,
His
shorter
head shaved.
head shaved, shorter, and I'm
Goatee.
like, and I said, you look just. Are we bros? or what?
Yeah, we bros.
And that was it. That's
Yeah.
all it took. We hung out, and now we're lifelong friends, and
Yeah.
chat and talk, and we're on all the social networks together.
Exactly,
And that's
yeah.
I think that's such a great feeling to not only come here for the information that we provide, and all the vendors that are here, which is awesome, but to also, like you said, kind of relate back to our extended family. If you will.
Yeah, yeah. The biggest thing I always maintain when I've come to Expo is if I take home one or two things on the technical end or the management end, and I can implement one or two of those things, it's well worth it. But seeing the smiling faces like I see right now, that's what I love. I really thrive on that. Yeah.
Well, and don't forget, just another shameless plug for ATRA is that every person that's registered for the show, for the technical and management shows, gets a audio link that will come to you, so you can revisit the entire show later on.
If
while
you were
have
too
time.
busy,
Yeah, while you have
smiling
time.
with people in the
That's right.
hallway,
Yeah.
you can revisit the seminars that you might have missed.
You got some time to kind of regurgitate the system there. So
Awesome.
good. Well, thanks,
Well,
Walt.
thank
Thanks
you
so much,
out.
Walt.
both. Always a
Thanks for
pleasure,
chatting.
Vanessa. I'll see you,
You
later.
too.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Walt.
Raj.
Raj is coming on.
What?
Raj.
What do you
Is he
need?
coming on?
I don't know.
I don't know the second, but I'm just saying.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Raj. Oh my.
All right.
You feel so special. Can we
Roger
have-
Bland.
The celebrities. Get Ron
Good.
Langenfelter in there, too.
Hi, Raj. How's it going, man?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Holding up?
Oh, yeah.
I've hardly
Go-
seen
going
Roger,
up.
so he's been busy.
Yeah.
Roger Bland is our director of Gears Magazine. He is the brains, the concept, the ideals behind everything that I think goes into Gears Magazine, along with
definitely.
your
Attention on the show.
We're gonna
bros.
have to wait for Bill.
We'll wait for
Big
Bill.
Bill,
to
yeah, that-
stop. Thank you, Bill.
Like an airplane passing over.
Time to eat. Time, get your back.
Would you like a snack?
You guys can hear that, right?
Come on down and get your
Who
free
can't? I think they can hear that back in Oxnard.
Was that it?
That's it?
And we're back here on the Transmission Coaching Podcast, powered by HRA. My name is Lance Wiggins. With me again, as usual, is my co-host, Vanessa Velasquez, and our good buddy, Roger Bland. Hi, Raj. How's it going?
Hi, guys.
Thanks
It
for
is
stopping
going
by,
well.
Raj.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I feel honored to be here with the real queen of our show, Vanessa
stop.
Velasquez. No, I'm telling you. For
Just
those
because
of
I have
you,
snacks here,
I
it's
know
okay.
it's a snacks too, but boy, it's really a team effort putting
Yes.
these things on. But Vanessa takes the lead, and I really couldn't do it. We couldn't do it without her leadership. And,
Thank you.
and she really does a great job, and this year is no exception. It's really been great. I think.
Thanks.
I absolutely concur with that. If it wasn't for her meticulous planning,
Yeah.
none of this stuff would be happening.
There's so many moving parts you don't realize.
But
it.
I lean so much on everybody.
Yeah.
Every person with an ATRA shirt, are you kidding me? I've grabbed them and I've said, I need you. And they've been like, what's up?
Right.
Yeah, you got it. So I can't do what I do if I don't have that. And I do every year.
That's one part. The other part is the attendees, the people who participate in the conference and our training, or just the show floor.
And they're so happy to be here. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
contagious. So seeing them being so happy, you just like we were saying, it pushes you every year to just want to give them what they deserve.
And the exhibitors, the suppliers. I mean, I think this is what, our 7th year in a row that we've sold out the show floor.
Yeah, I was.
You know?
We were just talking about the booth drawing, and I
Yeah.
was explaining because some attendees probably don't realize what we do.
Yeah.
And that we had the booth drawing this morning, and I said, you may not realize it, but we already started on next year.
Yeah.
And almost every single time we darn near sell out that
Yeah.
booth before we even leave this show.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do it for the attendees and the exhibitors,
Yeah.
and this is our Super Bowl, right?
It is our Super
This
Bowl.
is the culmination of what we do as an industry for the whole year, and it's a great place to celebrate. Next year at Caesars, year after that we're going to Nashville, so it's real exciting.
Speaking of, Vanessa tried to get through that booth drawing this morning about 9 times. I interrupted her every time. I apologize for that.
He
It's
wanted me
live.
to
It's
describe
live.
the
I
booth drawing. It's like,
apologize.
we're used to it.
happened.
He was being Mr. Social Butterfly. He was pulling people off the the islands and stuff. But of course, I had to give him my eye rolls. So.
Yeah.
But okay, I want to hear, Raj,
Yeah.
how things are going in the management rooms.
Management is great. We have. We did it kind of in 3 different segments this
Yeah.
year. We had our shop owner to shop owner. So we had Mario Herege and
Sorry, was that Thursday?
that was Thursday.
Okay.
Dennis and I started it
Yes.
off with a kickoff with
Yeah,
the What's
yeah,
Working.
yeah.
We did a What's Working survey this year, and we were able to present the findings of that on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we did shop owner to shop owner. We had Marianne Croce kick us off, and then Mario. Tom Chatter kind of hosted that. Mario and John Bricconi are from Transtech in
Because
Canada.
where were you? Where were
I was
you on
golfing
Thursday?
because, in fact, hand that over to me.
Yeah, let's
Hold
get back.
on.
No.
Oh, that's right.
I got
Let's
something-
get back to
I got some swag.
That's
the
gonna be
real
in his
reason why
office.
you weren't here Thursday.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I was
if
doing
missed the golf classic.
what I had to do, and I had prior commitments in golfing. Gears Magazine is one
It's
of
a
the
tough job,
premier
but everybody's gotta do
sponsors for the golf, and I had a great time out at Angel Park. And Joe DiSantino at JDS Worldwide, hats off to Joe. He did an outstanding job organizing the event again, and we had about 40 golfers out, so it was pretty good.
We announced all of the winners. We did. We haven't done it over the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
Does that still need to happen?
Yeah, you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Have Bill do that?
I
If we
think
do
Bill-
that, though, you're gonna have to pause
Yeah,
your.
we'll hit stop. Should
We'll
we
wait
get
a little
Laura
bit.
on?
Hey, Laura.
Oh, we have to get Laura on.
Yeah, we got to get Laura.
Laura.
I'll get her, you guys. I'll
Yeah.
go get her. Goodbye.
Okay. Wait a
Thanks,
minute.
Raj.
He's like, you were talking about your seminar.
Miss Laura.
Oh yeah, I got to finish my seminar. Get Laura over here. And then, that was on Thursday. Friday, we had our industry trainers, Malin Newton and Danny Sanchez. And then today, 2 brand new speakers, Larry Mercereau and then Ron Hurst is going to do a presentation on leadership, and that's in about an hour or so over at the seminar. So yeah, it's a full week of management training as well. And Laura can talk about it because she's been in every one of them, I think.
Laura.
All right.
Hi, Laura.
I was just walking by, guys. I mean, really, I was just walking by.
That's what happens.
Minding your own business.
Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Wilson from Advanced Transmission. Hello.
Hey.
Laura. So,
Hey,
tell us a
Laura.
little bit about yourself.
By the way, sorry,
Yes.
really quick. Remember that video I took of you yesterday? With
Yes.
your reaction? I showed it to Lance. We love that video.
What? I didn't get to see that.
You haven't seen
He's
it.
not familiar with the video.
yeah.
I was telling her.
She just started going, she was like, that beat, and her face was just like this. She was talking about the BTS. I'm all, hold on. I need to record this. And so I took video, and I just love it. You know what? Anytime I'm feeling sad, I'm just going to watch that video of Laura.
Can we get that edited in? So on
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can have that on
yes.
fun.
Did you hear Chris?
So cute. Yeah.
We
yeah.
get
Yeah, we get a thumbs
Yeah,
up
we
from
got
the
a thumbs
producer.
up.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I could feel it in my chest. It was like,
I walked by to meet Chris because let me tell you that presentation.
Oh, the BTS.
at
yes.
that luncheon for BTS.
Oh my God.
Chris, I had to come meet you, but I thought I was sitting in the movie theater.
Goosebumps.
I'm telling you, that video was so stinking awesome. I'm telling you, I was just like
Emotional.
almost to tears.
Yeah.
I was so moved by it. So
Yeah, it was
I'm telling
cool.
you, y'all have done a jam up job. ATRA,
Yeah.
I've been members since 1988,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
This year, probably I have been more excited about what ATRA is doing for its members and what you have to offer. And I just haven't been this excited in many years. And
Great.
thank you to the staff, ATRA, to Dennis, to Roger, Lance, everybody. I've been walking around telling everybody how much I appreciate what y'all are doing.
Thank
Because
you.
y'all are killing it.
Yeah, that's
Great,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
We're
Yeah,
excited.
by the way, Chris and I worked as we all worked on the video for a while. It was, I think we had probably about 20, 25 takes. I'm like,
know.
no, I don't like it.
He's
Ooh,
like, we
I
need
like
more
that.
thunder.
But we need more thunder, more lightning,
More
more
lightning.
lightning.
And then Dennis says, less thunder, less
And
lightning.
the
know.
sound
That's
of the,
it. Cut. I don't like it. Get that out
I
of
know,
here.
I know, I
the
know.
sound when a gear would move
Oh,
or
yeah.
something would move and the sound was on it. I mean, you just felt it.
Yeah.
It was
Hey,
and
we're
I
gonna
felt
have
it
to
in
post
my
that video.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
As a link or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
to
No,
this.
it'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah, we'll put
show-
it on.
we can put it on the side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be cool.
So tell us a little bit about husband Marvin.
Let's get
Marvin
Marvin here. Let's get him in. Hey,
Marvin.
Marvin, come on.
Hop in there. Yeah, hop over here, buddy. Come on, yeah.
Thanks, Raj.
See you guys.
Bye. Thanks, Roger.
Sit back in your chair then, right?
That's right. Marvin Wilson. This is Marvin, Laura, the probably the best people that I in the industry that I know.
Oh,
you guys,
my goodness.
You guys, listen. I count on you more than you know. And that's true. I will call them when I have a thought. I have this thought about something I'm working on. I'll give them a call, and you guys have helped me work through this. So we'll start with Marv first. Marv, how long have you been in the business? What got you in there, and what brings you to Expo?
I worked for my dad for 19 years, and then Laura said, let's go on our own. So I said, that's what I've been wanting to do, and that's what we did, and here we are.
Nice.
How scary was that?
Real scary.
That decision, right?
Real scary.
Back in 1988.
The ladder to success, or the tumble of thought, right? So it's yay, like that.
Yep.
And does Expo help you guys grow? Like when it comes to like, does it bring you enough innovative thoughts that you go, you know what, we should probably start doing this in our business to help us?
When we plugged into ATRA years ago, that's when we started up.
Really?
All the way.
I would say that ATRA is truly, without a doubt, unquestionable, the cornerstone to our success.
Yep.
25 years of it. When we come to Expo, we take back, and we are doers, of course y'all probably know us, but we are doers. But we sat at lunch and there was probably 2 or 3 things that I had decided to take back as far as the management. There's 2 or 3 things Marvin has brought back, and we're just stoked when we come back from Expo. I mean, stoked. But we do the things that we take back with us too.
Yeah.
And that's probably the hardest part, isn't it? Like
implementation.
Like you get this idea, you're like, oh yeah, but.
Well, if you don't go back and overwhelm them, you got to kind of go in and put that first
It's now your
coat,
job to then give
the
that
second
info
coat,
back.
then you put that lacquer on it
paint
when it
in there.
starts working.
Hey, I don't know if the guys are going to see this at our shop.
They are, yeah.
Well, anyway, so Marvin he's going to put a TV monitor. He's not going to tell the guys, but he's going to put a TV monitor in the building room so we can watch the VTS.
Oh,
awesome.
very
And
cool.
I just
we're
hope I
really
don't catch them.
Switching it to.
well, when you go in and there's the big production coming on again, they just keep watching it over.
All right.
But we have an apprentice
Mesmerized.
builder now, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, and we have an apprentice R&R tech, so we have 2. So this VTS is so exciting for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, you might catch them. You hear this. You walk in here. What's going on? Nothing. Just watching some transmission stuff here. Walk out. NASCAR's running around, something like that. How long have you guys been in your shop now?
25 years. Well, not in this new shop. We built a new shop, but we've been in business 25.
How many bays? How many stalls is big? What's the size of your shop?
We have almost 15,000 square feet, and we have a full kitchen. We have a workout room. We have an enclosed building room that's air conditioned, heated. We have
employee shower.
We have employee showers. We have lockers. We have. It's really nice.
That's why we don't live at home.
It's nice. Yeah, we live there. We just sleep at home.
Yeah. Very cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, favorite show, favorite presentation you went to so far?
Oh Lord, how can you ask me that? There's
It's a big
not
question.
favorite.
Oh yeah, we got to put the star. We got to put the
There's
5-star next to it.
Well,
Come on
I had. Of course, Malin is always comical, keeps your attention. He was really good, but really, every one of them have been just. I'll just make sure I wasn't going to miss my next class because I haven't heard this guy, this Hurst.
Yes, Ron
I haven't
Hurst.
heard him yet, so I don't want to miss his. Anyway, all of them have been absolutely fantastic.
Good.
No kidding. And each one of the speakers that were shop owners, they just brought tremendous amount
experience.
because it was real.
Yeah,
There were real people
Yeah.
in their shop.
They're
and what
relatable.
They had, So I
think
think all
that's
of them were
important. That's
great.
very important.
Really, truly great.
Good.
Which one was the most important? All of them. But
Yeah,
Malin, you know, I like you the best, right?
He keeps a lot of attention, that's for sure.
What about you, Marvin?
Marvin, yeah.
Well, all the seminars I've attended, you come here thinking you know it,
Yeah.
Well, you go in and they kind of reiterate what you're doing, but then you can go back with something a little bit better and make it all better throughout all of them, even the simple ones.
And sometimes that's all you need.
Just like
Just little
you.
tweaks.
Yep.
He's just like you.
Yeah.
Oh, all of them were great. Except for that one. Outstanding. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
coming up.
Thanks, Marvin.
Thank
Y'all
you.
doing a great job.
Enjoy
Keep
the
it up.
rest of your afternoon. You
Thanks.
got another hour and
Not
5
long.
minutes. Hour and 5
We're
minutes.
going to
for your
go
next
through the
show.
trade show and then we'll head into class.
And just another shameless plug that as all attendees that go to the conference get the audio visual or the audio for each show, so you can go back and regurgitate it
Are we getting
Sweet.
paid every
later
time you
on.
say that or
Yes,
something?
I am. That's I am. That's right. That,
Okay, let's get some snacks.
that and the shameless plug from the
This
ball.
ball keeps ending up
There
in
it
there.
is. Good. Snack time.
There's some great guests. I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Okay, did we wrap up? Let's see. Saturday, here we are. Second trade show day. Obviously, last day. Things are still going strong, and then we've also got. Let's see. We have our closing reception tonight.
What is that? What's our closing reception?
Well, I kind of wanted some of it to be a surprise because I've got some.
Well, since we're not
Okay. This
truly
is
telling
just
everybody.
you and me.
Yeah. This is just us.
Oh, just between me and you. We've got pizza and a cookie station.
Oh,
So they're gonna make custom
what?
cookies right in front of you. Roger's jaw just dropped. You can't see right now, but Roger, you can't even eat that stuff.
Wait, hang on. They're going to cook
In front of you. There's
they're
like
gonna
these little
bake-
ovens and stuff.
Bake cookies
Yes,
in front of us?
Yes.
A custom cookie?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 o'clock, 5 to
Okay.
7. We've got
I
our
might
closing
have
reception.
I might have to chocolate chip that for a little bit. I'm sorry.
And from what I hear from the hotel staff, the smell in there is just going to be amazing. Roger's rolling his eyes. He can't eat that stuff. You better still show up.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. So, looking forward to that. And then that's it.
Oh man.
That's it until next year.
I know.
I swear, it seems like we're doing these things every 6 months.
It's like Thanksgiving dinner, you know. You work on your list of people to come.
You prep.
You work on the house,
And
you
then
clean
it's
it all
done in
up, you
30
get
minutes.
all handled. You bake and
7
cook
minutes,
from
you're
7
done.
a.m. until 7 p.m. and 30 minutes later you're napping on the freaking couch. And that's that. That's how that goes.
That's like Expo.
Oh, that is like Expo. Good. Okay, well,
All right.
let's take a little
Yeah.
time out for a few minutes and refresh the water. Does that
Yeah,
sound good?
whatever.
Okay.
All
ready,
right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Ready to break? Yep. Welcome back to the Transmission Coaching Podcast. Here with Vanessa, and we have a special guest, our ATRA CEO, Dennis Madden. Welcome,
Esteemed
Dennis.
leader.
Hello.
Esteemed leader.
Hey, D.
How's our show going this
It's
year,
going
Dennis?
fantastic. I've heard nothing but positive. Nothing.
And so we have a new one of the new speakers that are coming up. I think he's coming up here in about 10 minutes. So your time is of the essence.
And who might that be?
Isn't it Ron Hurst?
Oh, at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
go over
see?
there and help set up the room.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ron?
You'd have to ask Roger. He's the one who found him.
Outstanding.
So Roger, get over in the seat there.
Great. Roger's already been on. We don't need repeat guests.
That's right.
Yeah, Dennis thought he was gonna sing. Just
You know,
so
let's
we
just-
to
let's
stop.
just listen to Dennis sing,
Yeah,
I
we
think.
just need
We
to
can-
stop
no,
asking him the
not today.
the serious questions and just
So tell us. a
Well,
little
real
bit about
quickly, Ron
Hurst.
Hurst is a brand new speaker to Expo this year. He's from Southern California, focuses on leadership. He started his industry as a heavy line mechanic from the Big Three he was up in Ontario, Canada, and worked as an entrepreneur, got into leadership, and we're excited to have him. He is our wrap-up speaker this year for this Expo, and we're looking forward to Ron's presentation. And it's all about leadership.
You know, we had another new speaker earlier this morning, Larry Mazzaro. He was excellent. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Got a lot of positive feedback on his presentation.
We got Ron, Barbara Scott from H&A and Gear Speed Transmissions out of Rancho Cucamonga. Last year she says, man, I've listened to the speaker, you've got to have him at Expo. And so she's the one that turned us on to Ron. She says, you're really going to enjoy Ron, and so we're excited to have Ron with us. And that's how we get a lot of our speakers, you know. We listen to the industry, the attendees, our suppliers. If they have somebody that they'd like to think that could contribute to the educational portion of our Expo, we're all ears. That's how we get them.
So overall, the management side has been a complete hit and success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. Now get out of here and go to work.
All right, we got to get to work.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Raj. Appreciate it. Good. Not off. You want to come on in? Come on and have a seat. Yeah, sure. Not too much, man. We're just sitting here chatting. No big deal. Get this guy. Well, I'm about to sit a little taller with this guy next to me. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, your shop, and why you're here.
Well, my name's Adolph Zerke. I own Placerville Transmission. I'm up in Placerville, California. I've been there 28 years now. I learned this trade originally from my father.
Cool.
Actually, kind of a neat story. When I first got started and actually got our shop open back in '91, I wound up going to this class on this organization down in Ventura, California.
Oh, how funny. Yeah, that's right. And off of Eastman. Yeah.
Yep.
Glenn Trobe and Dennis Madden were my instructors.
Nice.
Yep. That's going way back.
Yeah. So I've always been a member since then.
Great.
It's just great. I mean, it's the best way we can get our education. Best way that when we know we're dealing with another shop, if they're a member of ATRA, I got higher confidence that I'm dealing with somebody that's, really wants to educate themselves.
So how many, you're owner-operator?
Yeah.
How many employees do you have?
Currently right now I have 4.
Cool, okay.
I've had more. I think I made less.
And now how that works?
That's the management part. I'm a builder. I'm not that much of a manager, but it works. We all make a good living. And
one of the things that we had, one of our earlier podcasts, we were talking about chapters, and we were talking about some of the owner-operators. One of our directors, Brad Benrud, is a builder. He knows it. Guys like John Parmenter, they're builders. They know it. They don't mess around with the front end. They don't mess around with the writing stuff up. They don't mess around with the diagnostics. The transmission comes back to them. They build the transmission and they put it back in. It's all said and good. Some of the most successful shops are built with that platform in place. The ones that aren't successful are the guys that think they can build and run the front office at the same time. That's difficult.
Well, I did it for many years and I struggled hard.
Yeah.
And about the last 6 years, I finally hired somebody to run the front office for me. She does great. Her name's Joe. Anyways, it's to the point now where maybe a third of the people that come through my shop don't even get to meet me.
Oh, that's
They may have
awesome.
known me, they hear me.
Yep.
But yeah, absolutely, you can't do it all. You want to be able to do it all, but you don't want to have to do it all.
You only
Release that control.
Yeah, you only need to come in when needed, right?
Well, that's my goal. I'm working for that.
Good.
I still have to come in.
Sure.
Although I haven't got a single phone call related to work, and I've been here since Wednesday.
Oh, that's outstanding.
So
that means
we're
you're
on the right track.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. You
that's
got
good.
a good team going. You got a good team.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by
right.
and introducing yourself. We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being here.
Thank
before
you.
Before you go, what was your highlight of the weekend?
This weekend, I'd say it was getting the actual background knowledge of the O2 sensors and how that actually controls fuel trim, because that's something I've been struggling with the last couple of years, because I finally realized that I can't just stick my head in the bucket of a transmission. I have to look at the whole big picture.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot over the last few years about it, but today's class it put a lot of stuff in
Was
place
it Eric?
for me.
That was Scott Schotten. Yeah.
Oh, Scott.
Go to Eric's class. It's
I'm going
happening
there.
in about 35 minutes, man.
Yep.
Those,
That's my next class.
Those
I'm
two
ready.
guys were at the ATE Automotive technical engineers or something like that up in the Washington area, Spokane, Washington. And Jared Warren asked if he could go to the courses. I said, oh, of course. Found these two guys, had me call them. I call them. They've been speaking with us ever since. They're outstanding.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, you'll definitely enjoy that. So Adolph,
right.
thank you so much for stopping
you.
by. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
It's amazing to hear the different stories of people who are attendees that come, and just it's the small things. They go to a class and it's like, oh, that was outstanding, or they go to this class, and the excitement, like we just talked about, but the eyes, are open. They're looking forward to going back and doing something in the shop that will help them.
Well, and he said something else that is also really important, and we definitely understand that, is what he said about, having to leave his shop behind, having to leave it, or, and being able to leave it in the hands of people that he trusts. And the fact that what did he say, that he hasn't received a phone call since he's been gone?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a big deal.
When you set up your team and you set up your shop and you have
in the right way.
Yes, you have the builders and the people doing everything they're supposed to do, and all you need to do is build transmissions and get out of there afterwards. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and he's right. If you're not getting phone calls all the time, you're doing something right there. So it's good.
I'm sure that he contacts them to make sure that everything is okay.
He can call them, but them having to call him is different.
It's a little bit of night and different day, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So any of the new suppliers that we have here, I'm noticing, I'm looking over here at STK Transmission Parts and also Transpeed. I don't know if I've seen a Transaver. I don't know if I've seen some of these.
Tentex. Tentex Automotive is right on the corner.
That's the one on this side?
Right here.
I thought it says Transpeed. Oh, Tentex Automotive.
Yeah. And then Hayden Automotive.
Is that Tennessee?
Next to it.
Tennessee, Texas Automotive?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before.
I'm not sure if we're
That's interesting.
We're also we're across from ETE, Auto Shop Solutions, Synchrony Car Care. Can you see that? I don't know who we're next to over here.
Oh, let me pull out my handy dandy
Who
pocket
are we
guide.
next to?
Let's take a
Exity.
look here.
Nice booth, Durabond.
Oh, there we are. Yeah, we got Miami Powertrain. And who's this one over here? McCoy. Oh, yeah. Shameless plug.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. The ATRA
Full
bookstore.
of shame.
Yeah, ATRA bookstore has 5 brand new books just released for the show.
How crazy has our bookstore been this week?
It's been pretty crazy. I think, if I'm not
We're going to have to keep doing this 5-book thing.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that we're close to record sales there, so that's good.
Yes.
One of the books that he's got is the 6L80 Rebuild and Reference. The other one is the 6R80 Rebuild and Reference. The brand new Ford transmission, which is the 10R80 Rebuild and Reference. Of course, our front-wheel drive, which was our Mazda FW6AEL, a new 6-speed Rebuild and Reference.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And last, yes, you did.
I don't interrupt my co-host.
Dang it, she's always right. And last but not least, our 6R140 Rebuild and Reference.
What I was going to say was the 10R80 was just barely finished like a week ago or something.
That came down to the wire.
Yeah, we just added that. This whole time it was like 4 new books, which is a big deal. That was a lot to have 4 new books at Expo. And then all of a sudden, your department was like, we just finished the 5th. Like, what?
Yeah.
That
we wanted to make a big push and get some new material out for the show. It was important that we did everything that we could to make sure that happened.
Which, by the way, speaking of, did everything you could to make that happen. That's no easy task. Between producing books and then the VTS, I mean, there's a lot of juggling with our technicians. We only have so many technicians, right? So you want to talk about what goes into you having to, create time for these big projects. This is not just an easy thing to do.
Yeah, we have to allocate that time accordingly. We've got Bill.
Plan way ahead.
Yeah, Bill Brayton and Keith Clark and Jared Warren are all 3 research technicians. They do the majority of the research for the VTS. Bill does all of the rebuild books, and so he has the opportunity to go back there in his room and take care of all that good stuff, taking hundreds and thousands of pictures and then putting them into scale and then making sure that those go into a book correctly, make sure the verbiage is done correctly, make sure it's edited correctly, make sure the dots are where the dots are supposed to be and the numbers are where the numbers are supposed to be, and so on and so forth. I mean, all of these things are important, and the timeline that it takes to get this done is usually 3 to 4 weeks, and that's really moving. That takes a lot of effort to do so, and
being focused on the one project. That's, I mean, if you've got other things going on, it's going to be longer than
yeah,
3
we
or 4
can't.
weeks.
We can't pull guys off of projects because as soon as you pull somebody off of a project, it takes a day to get back to it.
Yeah.
So we try to leave them on that project until they get it done, and then what that does is it evolves into writing articles, it evolves into seminar book, it evolves into expo presentations, it evolves into bulletins. So it evolves into other things that we do that help our industry get better.
Well, it was worth it.
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone's been really excited about those books and the VTS. So.
Yeah, we got some new covers, and Aurelio's been doing a shameless plug for A Real Opinion. We've done some great covers for our books, and I think really, I mean, honestly, when people are walking by and they look at it, they kind of go, "Ooh, that's."
Oh yeah, you know what? Maybe Chris can.
Yeah,
we are right next to our bookstore.
Pan over
and they've just been super busy. Yeah. Nice books. Nice covers. Thanks, Aurelio.
Aurelio, my man.
What else we got here? We had some celebrities on our show floor yesterday.
Who?
Oh, by the way, Ron Harper.
Really?
Basketball player?
Nuh-uh.
Right? Am I right? Basketball player?
He is.
Okay. Yes, he was here yesterday. I don't know if he's here today. He was here yesterday at the Precision New Hampton booth, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and then
here?
and then what's his name? Chief.
From
Street
Outlaws.
He was here yesterday as well.
Cool.
I don't think he's here today. So yeah, that was kind of cool. A bunch of people were getting photos and posting those, and that was neat.
Picture time.
Picture time. That was yesterday.
I know,
yesterday
right?
was busy. And then, what are you doing? No.
No pause? Keep going?
Huh?
Pause?
You can pause. You want to pause?
Pause?
Pause.
Keep going? Well, what is it? Pause or keep going? Pause.
Okay. All right. We're back. This is Vanessa Velasquez, along with my wonderful co-host, Lance Wiggins.
Sorry.
We are. Things have gotten delirious because we're getting to the end here. About 45 minutes left of the show floor. Left of
45 minutes.
2018 Powertrain EXPO.
Yes, and I wanted to compliment you and your registration department, as I was just walking from
on our break.
When I was just walking from where they're doing the seminars to the through the registration area, just on the front door here. One of the things I noticed is every single one of the ladies, including Ruben, including Ruben, were still there, big smiles on their face, waiting for customers and attendees to show up to get their badges. And I don't know if I can say enough about them. We have some volunteers that help with us as well.
Yeah, so for a lot of years now, we've had a couple of some members, wives, help us out. One in particular, Ruth Lamaro, her husband, Troy Lamaro from New Jersey. Yeah. I don't even know how many years now it's been that she's volunteered. She's just great. She's like, and I always say, are you sure? is there anything you want to do? Please don't feel that you need to work all day. No, I love it here with you ladies. And so we start to get excited to see each other every year. So Ruth has been just amazing every year, and she's so fun. And then we have some wives of staff members that help out. We've got Mike Brown, also speaker. Vicki Brown helps. Barbie Alvarez, Rolly's wife, love her, from Miami. And we also have board wives that help as well. Over the years, they're always there.
I think that's huge when you look at the amount of bodies that it takes to run the registration department.
And they've got it down.
Yeah, I mean, because they've been doing it every year.
Yeah, and we have to. We take everything that we do is very serious because it all boils down to how long you're going to wait in that line or how long you're going to wait at that counter. We want to make sure that you're happy from the moment you get here to the rest of your weekend. So. I'm extremely thankful, and not
like
to mention
Disneyland.
What?
Like Disneyland.
Yeah, like at Disneyland.
Right.
So not to mention, of course, our full-time ATRA staff that's there. We've got Valerie Mitchell, Jody Wintermute, Kim Paris, and we also have Nancy, who worked in membership. This is her first year, and she has just been great. By the way, I put her in charge of Halloween decorations. She
went off.
Freaking knocked it out of the park. Is she over here? Oh, she's over here right now, but at bookstore. But she's been so great. And then Ruben at registration.
My Rubester.
Yeah, Ruben at registration. So they are.
How many books do we bring? Robert, how many books do we bring? 900 books. So they've got to unload 900 books, set them on the counters, unload another 300 or 400 management binders, set those on the counter, pick those up, put them in bags, stuff everything, hand them the badges, hand them the information, get them out the door as fast as they can, and be happy from the time they started to the time that they end.
And these are long days. Registration on most days opens at 7 a.m. So everyone's downstairs ready to work at 6:30 a.m. So 12-hour days is about what it is. And, 1,200 people. We're greeting 1,200 people. So it's a lot of work. And you're right. They've always had a smile on their face.
Still do.
They still do.
There's 45 minutes left. Now, I have to ask this question. Since there's only 45 minutes left, why are they still there? How come their boss hasn't given them the afternoon off?
Huh?
Huh? What?
No, they're actually, you know why they're smiling?
Why?
It's because they're getting ready to pack up. Yeah, they're waiting around for the thumbs up sign.
So isn't the pack up going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah, we're not going to do very much this afternoon.
Yeah.
If anything, they just might be, maybe trashing some things, condensing some boxes. But yes, we will be downstairs in the morning packing up to get going. Get everything back on the truck, back to California.
Oh, man.
Go through the desert.
Seems like only yesterday we just unloaded.
Seems like only yesterday.
Seems
Why does that
like
happen
only
every
yesterday.
year?
And there's a song that goes like that. Yesterday seems so very far
I think you're
away.
combining two songs.
Something like that. No, that's a Beatles tune.
It is a Beatles tune, I know. But I think you started off with a different song.
Nope, sure didn't.
No? All right.
No.
No, sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure didn't.
Sure didn't. Yeah, we're getting the last two technical classes going right now.
I do kind of want to bring something up.
Yeah.
And I know we've been asked, and I don't want it to be like an elephant in the room, but I do want to address it. I'm pretty sure that when our attendees showed up on Wednesday at the Bally's, they weren't expecting to have to go to the Paris.
Nope.
For their seminars.
No, they weren't.
And I think it's a big deal that our attendees were great sports, and they, we, did our best. I want to just really explain really quickly that we did not know about that change until about 4 days before we showed up.
Yeah, and what she's referring to is, when we have our shows, our rooms, our
contracts,
our registration area, our trade show floor, our seminars are all in the same building, and having to walk from point A to point B.
That was not the plan.
No.
And it was not the plan up until, like I said, 4 days before Expo.
Literally. And I thought what was nice, though, is that here at Bally's, we would have had the seminars, the technical seminars would have been upstairs.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, I'm talking 26 floors upstairs. And that's an elevator ride all the way to the top. And normally there are several elevators that'll get you that close. But I think there's only 2 or 3 that they had designated for 26.
Uh-huh.
So imagine getting 800 people up there.
Yeah.
That's rough. That'd be pretty hard.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm, we use that as one of the good things that happened was that we didn't want to put 800 people in the elevator.
No,
and
you're right.
Instead, we'll take a nice little easy walk by the shops.
Yeah.
Get out of the casino for a little bit. Maybe get a cup of coffee on your way by. Dash into the location. I think it's nice over there too. It's centrally located. You've got food right outside. When we had the luncheon the lunch break on Thursday, there wasn't a lot of shops that were packed.
Yeah.
Everybody went their own way and were able to get into locations to eat. So I thought it went out really well.
Yeah, it was probably for the better. You're right. And that's what's really nice about this property. These two properties are connected internally, so you weren't walking outside, and in all honesty, you're probably walking the same distance if you were at another large hotel. So, but I just wanted to mention that I anyway appreciate everyone just kind of they they were just good sports about it. They understood. We hopefully did our best to direct people.
I didn't hear anybody complain.
No, and it was nice that we were at Paris for 2 years straight previous, so they were used to the space. Once they got there, it was familiar. But
they got a little lost in some locations trying to find registration moreover than the technical shows. So anyway,
I just kind of wanted to mention that. It was hotel error, and they're doing everything that they can to make it up to us.
Vanessa, you're deflecting right now. Okay, you're deflecting everything to the hotel. It wasn't our fault; it was the hotel's fault. That's how that goes.
Being honest.
Deflection.
I don't want them to think that I decided on Wednesday that let's just change our meeting rooms. That's not how it works. So anyway, but I appreciate our attendees.
And the fact that we already had our badges printed.
We had our badges printed. We had our pocket guides literally already at the printer. I had to call the printer and was like, stop, I got to send you a new file. So all of these maps and things that are in there showing Paris, that wasn't there last Thursday. And so they, the printer was great. They, drop shipped everything here to Vegas. I didn't even see these things until Wednesday evening. So anyway, just like with any event, you got to prepare for everything. There's just some things you can't prepare for, but when you have a good team, everyone jumps in together, and this is what you have, a successful show.
I think not only a good team, but you also have good sports, and you have a lot of guys that have been here before. So, they've adapted and overcome. It makes it nice and easy.
Yeah.
That's good. So our last two seminars of the day are Reese Blaylock and Eric Ziegler.
How's that going over there?
It's going well. Yeah, everything. There's a couple hundred people over there. The management session was great. Matter of fact, when we turned the corner, we looked. Everybody in the management room was standing up, looking at each other and shaking each other's hands. So they were going through some sort of
exercise.
Exercise. So that was pretty cool.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that one?
That's Ross Hurst. That's the new
Ron
guy.
Hurst. They
Ron
just
Hurst,
are getting
Ron
through
Hurst.
without giving it. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So, and it was interesting. He was talking about how when you shake hands, and the way you shake hands can dictate whether or not there's a forceful, cohesive, like you come over here handshake, or the handshake that's so it was
symbolic.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to see. So it was good. Long story short. So at the end of the day, I think this weekend has been successful. I think we've had a lot of good things that we can look back on and try to make better.
Oh yeah.
Try to
always.
make better.
There's always something.
And then then of course, making sure that our attendees have the kind of experience that we want them to have and expect. So I congratulations. It was awesome.
Congratulations to you too, sir. Well, thank you, but
A quick reminder, and a shameless plug for ATRA once again. Yeah, the credit. Make your plans now. Seize your future. We're going to be at Caesar's Palace 2019. Caesar, if you've never been to Caesar's, it's beautiful. It is an absolutely gorgeous location. Caesar's Palace, October 30th through November 2nd. Book your trip. Make your plans.
Yes, make your plans. Book your room as soon as possible.
Was there issues with the rooms this year?
We sold out of some nights of our room block. I would say a couple weeks before a cutoff date. I should probably use this opportunity to explain about the cutoff date.
What does a cutoff date mean?
Yeah, thanks, Lance. So October 1st was our cutoff date. That by no means means that there are going to be rooms guaranteed for you on October 1st. What that means is that what hotel rooms are still available, the hotel has agreed to sell them at that rate until then. But there is no way for us to guarantee of how many there's going to be left over, the closer you get to the end. It's first come, first serve. So, it's one of those things where you show up late to the sale and they're out of your product. Well, that's just, that's what happens. So
as soon as the registration, how early can they book the rooms?
You know what? I should probably have a link ready to go by spring.
Okay.
And I'm so sorry, I do not have that in front of me.
So as soon as we
around
launch,
$189.
Yeah, as soon as we come out, we launch in April.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Make
I
your
would
room,
say no
make,
later
make
than
your
that.
rooms.
Just really try your best to do that. Especially when we have really good rates like we did this year.
Yep.
This year our rate was only $159, and the surrounding hotels were all at least 250, if not higher. And it just really, we would get phone calls from attendees. Is there anything you can do? I know I'm late. I'm so sorry. And I tried my best, but I don't like getting those phone calls because I'm a consumer. I would hate to pay more than I'd have to. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Just try your best. You can register at any time with Expo if you're trying to budget it. We're not selling out of registration tickets. So if it's something where you need to plan, maybe get your room first and then do your Expo registration, right before the pre-reg in August. So you've got time. That's an idea.
That is a great idea.
So, just an idea. Again, this is a great opportunity. We've never been at Caesar's Palace. We have a great, great rate. Caesar's Palace, you're lucky if you can get in there for $250, $300 a night. And I think we have $189. I think I have to double check, but it's right around there.
It's a good deal.
If you've ever wanted to go there, this will be the time. So, yeah.
Caesar's Palace 2019.
2019. We'll be there before you know it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it usually is.
Are we doing this again?
Doing the podcast?
Will you do it with me?
Sure, absolutely. I'll be your compadre.
All right.
No problem. All right.
Signing off.
Yeah, that's about it. That's going to be a
Thanks,
wrap
everybody.
for 2018 Powertrain Expo. And thank you for checking out the Transmission Coaching Podcast, powered by ATRA. Until next time.
See you next year.